Hello, anybody who's watching. This is going to be me refuting the Reformation. I'm going to shoot it down. That's how I'm going to celebrate Halloween this year. Some people are going to dress up like reformers and talk about how great the Reformation is. I'm going to shoot them down. Maybe I'll crash their party wearing a chasuble too. First page of this book here. This book I got from Second Presbyterian Church in Greenville, South Carolina. I know some people that go there. I don't go there. Solas of the Protestant Reformation. And they have a Reformation lineage thing. And I'm going to shoot this down too. Our Reformation lineage, Martin Luther and the Lutheran Reformation, 1517. And then they have an arrow going to John Calvin in Geneva, 1536. The English Reformation, 1534 to 47. John Knox and the Scottish Presbyterian Covenanters, 1599. Puritans in Westminster, 1642. One thing they all have in common is they were all bloodbaths. You can say the Catholics were killing people, but the Protestants were too. Nobody was being saints, and the Protestants least of all. They came out swinging, and they went crying every time they got bruised up, and so every time you hear about somebody being cuddly little teddy bears that didn't want to hurt anything, they just wanted to mind their own business, I'm not buying it. Secondly, the Lutheran Reformation and the Calvinist Reformation are not the same thing. They don't proceed from each other. There's one very key difference here that this little hunk of paper doesn't talk about. That is, Martin Luther very strongly believed that the Eucharist was the body and blood of Christ. Calvinists deny that it is in a physical form, although they believe that in a spiritual form it is, but not in a physical form like the Catholic Church teaches and like the Lutherans traditionally teach. Modern Lutherans, it's anybody's guess. I'm going to try to stay on topic here. When our good friend Zwingli was fixing to have a war with the Catholics, he wanted Martin Luther to join up with him and help him fight the cats. But they talked about theology and stuff, and Luther was like, I'm not going to help you. I'd rather drink blood with the papists than drink wine with the Zwinglians. And he meant not that he wanted to kill people and stuff, but that he agreed with the Catholic Church in their theology of the Eucharist being the body and blood of Christ. And so then when Zwingli's like, well, let's shake hands and kindred spirit, friendly, happy, smiley stuff, Luther was like, no, we are not of the same spirit. That means, if I'm a Christian, you're not, because of this. This is how essential this belief is. Now, John Calvin's Reformation and Luther's Reformation are two different things. They don't proceed from each other. The English Reformation, probably one of the most bloody bloodbaths of them all, started because King Henry VIII wanted to shag women and rob monasteries. Theology was added to it later, and it kind of became a theological / liturgical compromise between different belief systems. John Knox and the Covenanters, again, they don't proceed from the English Reformation. They're their own thing. In fact, even though the English Reformation was going on at about the same time, John Knox, in his strong language, is making himself enemies where he could have had friends. He really liked Geneva. He thought it was wonderful when he visited there. He wanted to recreate it. In other words, recreate a theocratic police state. And the Puritans, another bloodbath. Now, I guess you could say that John Knox proceeds from John Calvin, and the Puritans proceed from him. But the English Reformation is a little bit different, and they definitely don't proceed from Martin Luther. Just a little History 101 for you. If you want to know your Reformation, get it right.